Today I fucked up by helping a woman jump start her car. The other day I got home late at 11:30 p.m., exhausted after a work meeting, and I just couldn't find a parking spot near the building whatsoever. At some point after circling hopelessly around the building and at nearby streets, I saw a woman sitting in her car, parked, and I couldn't tell whether she's about to leave or just got in. So I asked her, and she said, "I need to go out, but I can't start up my car, would you please help me?" So of course I said yes. I needed the parking spot, also why not be nice? She said that she had forgotten the lights on or something and the battery died, so she needed a jump start. Now the problem was that the front of her car was not easily accessible, since she parked between two other cars, perpendicular to a wall, and the space between the cars and the wall was very narrow. I had an idea in my mind to have her put the car on neutral and let it slide backwards, but for some reason she managed to convince me that there's enough room for my car to go in the narrow space to get close to the front of her car and attach the jumper cables. So I was stupid enough to trust her, and she started instructing me how to go in. I just listened to her and did as she instructed. And she was like, go on, you have plenty of space." Needless to say, I ended up scratching the wall and leaving damage on my car and definitely couldn't reach her car. Since it was too dark and I was too exhausted, I couldn't tell how bad it is until the next morning. At the end we reverted back to my method, pushed her car backwards, and blocked the one-lane street, which made other drivers mad, and I helped her jump-start the battery. She went off and I took the parking spot. Now I gotta fix up my car because I tried to help a stranger. But hey, I got the parking spot. Too long did not read. I helped a woman jump-start her car so I can take her parking spot, and ended up scratching my car door. Always trust your own judgment. The amount of times I've been waved into traffic by other people when it was clearly unsafe is mind-boggling. I have a portable battery tender that I keep in my truck. Works great for getting cars jump-started. Reminds me of how SpongeBob and Patrick destroyed the Flying Dutchman's ship. Keep going. You're good, you're good. Get rid of those jumper cables and get a portable jump pack. Seriously, they are amazing. I thought the story was going to be how you accidentally help someone steal a car. No good deed goes unpunished, they say. That totally sucks. If I was the woman I would have totally offered to pay for the damage. I'd feel so bad about it, and it just seems like the right thing to do in that situation. What I'm reading is you were parked at a local Walmart, came out and discovered someone had sideswiped your car. Today I fucked up making a Will Smith joke. This did actually happen today. It was 3 a.m. this morning and my daughter, who is 1, had thrown up late the night before. For context, my wife tends to think I am to blame whenever our kid feels nauseous because we roughhouse and I spin her around, flip her upside down, etc. The kiddo thinks it's fun as hell. So we, of course, argue when she throws up the first time, resulting in us agreeing to disagree that I caused it. Fast forward to the start of this story at 3 a.m. I hear, "Oh no," from my wife, who then asks me to turn the lights on. As I ask Alexa to turn on our lamps, I see a sizable amount of throw up on my wife, her pillow, and our baby that was all snuggled in next to her. Feeling slightly vindicated to see that our child threw up with no dad-imposed forces causing the issue, I get up and work on changing the sheets while my wife cleans up the baby and gets her in a new set of pajamas. Rockstar teamwork all around. Our kid is somehow in a great mood, despite hurling, and we all get back in bed so I can sleep before my 1-hour commute to work in 3 hours. Our kid is clearly not interested in sleeping as she is wide awake. I am laying there, eyes closed, while my wife is working on calming her down, and I feel a presence looming. I open one eye and see the shadow of my daughter standing above me as she slaps me as hard as she can in the eye. Realizing she just went through some traumatic vomiting and the fact she is literally a baby, I chalked it up to being a funny, ridiculous slap and thought of Will Smith from the other night. So as I am saying, "Damn, my eye," I say, "Yeah, you better leave my wife's name out of your damn mouth, Dada." The wife loses it and starts laughing. Our daughter starts laughing, and if you've had a 1-year-old you know laughing equals, "Oh, this is good." People like this. Again. So for the next 10–15 minutes she is winding up and slapping me, laughing hysterically, rinse and repeat. Again, she had a rough night, so I wasn't about to discipline her if she could milk a few minutes of happiness out of things. Her unrelenting slapping eventually ended with my wonderful wife taking her to the nursery to read a book for a few minutes while she calmed down and we all got some rest. Now I am just hoping she doesn't remember that slapping me in the face causes happiness today, or I may have created a monster. Too long did not read. Daughter slapped me in the face. I made a well-timed, if I do say so myself, joke causing her to think slapping Dada equals good. So the late-night slapping commenced. This is such a wholesome fuck-up, and honestly I didn't expect it to go this direction from the title. As a fellow parent to a 16-month-old toddler, good luck with that. As a fellow dad of a 16 Malio, she will remember, and even if you don't laugh next time, she will carry on. Great timing on the joke though, and being able to laugh about things at 3 a.m. is the best way to keep sane. Good luck. I miss slaps. I now get full-on body jumping into daddy. I probably bent my spine carrying my kids on my shoulders, but I do miss it. At least with the small versions of them. Great story. Kids always feel great after puking in your bed. On a good night, they'll get their bed, then as you clean it, splatter yours as well. Then fall asleep peacefully as you scrub. This is adorable as fuck, my guy. But that kind of extended dopamine release while performing repetitive muscle motions has primed her little brain for round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. ad infinitum. But emphasis on the adorable as fuck. As a dad, even though she's 1 now, check if she's lactose intolerant. Our kid was fine at first, but all that changed a while later and she started throwing up, not gaining weight. We had to switch formula to carnation to get her to keep anything down at night. Best of luck. Wow, this went in such a better direction than I thought it was going to. Rip to your face though, you just made slapping it the best game of all time. Today I fucked up by using a condom incorrectly. My wife and I got married a few months ago, but it was a couple weeks ago when the foo happened. After having sex with a condom because we aren't trying to have kids yet, I felt a lot of pain as I came. I didn't think very much of it until the next day when I started to notice blood in my urine. I didn't initially connect the dots and thought that maybe I had somehow gotten a UTI or something. But I didn't have any other symptoms, and we haven't been with anyone else, so it couldn't be an STI. For the next couple days I would pee out a blood clot looking thing, so I went to the doctor to see what was up. After taking a urine test that came back with absolutely no abnormalities other than the small amount of blood, it was ruled that I suffered some sort of cut or abrasion to my urethra during sex. It was at this point I realized what my foo was. When I put the condom on, I forgot to squeeze the end to make sure there was no air bubble, so there was no place for my load to go and I tore my urethra. Luckily the bleeding went away on its own in a few days, but it was scary seeing blood down there. Too long did not read. I injured my urethra and got blood in my urine because I didn't squeeze the end of my condom when putting it on. You have to cut off the tip next time to prevent the injury. New fear unlocked. As a teenage boy growing up, you have to pinch the end of the condom? I never knew this. Never pinched the end, just knew the reservoir tip existed, so I never yanked it all the way up. That's why I never use condoms. That, and because I don't ever do sex. If you get an air pocket at the end, just pop a pinhole to let it out. Never happening to me. There's always lot of air between my dick and condom. If it's tight enough to cause a backfire, you got the wrong size sleeve for your pistonelle, friend. Might want to go up a size, it shouldn't be that tight when worn. Today I fucked up by forgetting I use electricity while sleeping. A week ago I got both a text and an email from the electricity company warning that between the hours of 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock on this specific day my area would have no electricity due to repairs or maintenance, something like that. I considered this but, as I would be asleep, dismissed it as not affecting me. A second warning arrived the day before the outage and was similarly dismissed. I went on to stay up a bit too late, but no worries. I woke up at 5 o'clock, groggily wondering what was different. It seemed difficult to breathe. I moved my face mask away from my nose, expecting the customary burst of air from my CPAP machine which I use for my sleep apnea. Nothing. Why isn't it working? It should be. Oh, damn it. The worst part was the sudden recollection that the last time this happened, 2 or 3 years ago, I made the exact same mistake. Maybe I'll remember next time? Too long did not read. I forgot that I have sleep apnea and use a CPAP machine that I can't sleep without. Routine electrical outage woke me. In your case I'd definitely have an UPS, an interruptible power supply, connected to that machine. Doesn't have to be something outrageous, but maybe one that keeps the machine running for a few hours. In the UK, there is a register of people who have specific health needs like yours, so you are supplied with temporary power for planned outages, and are considered a priority for unplanned outages. called the Priority Services Register, held by your local DNO. Check to see if your location has a similar scheme and join it if you can. Maybe next time, when you get the notice, just set an alarm on your phone for the next morning to wake up about 15 minutes before the outage is expected to start. You would lose some sleep in the morning, depending on how much earlier this would be waking you up other than a regular day, but you'd also still be able to use your CPAP and get good sleep until then. I don't know, just an idea to try to make the best of it. You can definitely get a backup battery supply for that CPAP. Unfortunately they are $200 plus. But if you camp a lot or experience loads of outages, they are a necessity. Routine electrical outage. What? Is that a thing? Come to think of it, I have no idea how they do maintenance here, but I've never in my life have experienced a routine electrical outage. I guess us Dutchies really have our shit together. I know a guy with a portable CPAP setup for camping. Don't know how he got a cable. Maybe he built a custom cable, but he powers it using a massive USB-C PD battery, lasts like 2 nights. You'd have been fucked if you were on a respirator. I got a lithium-ion battery pack that can act as a UPS. And a 12V DC CPAP adapter plug so the battery pack doesn't need the inverter on 24/7. This lets me keep a spare mask and power supply in my travel bag, so I only need to pack the machine itself. And if I go camping or something, that battery unit can run the CPAP for several days, be charged by solar as an option, etc. Also, the nasal pillows are awesome for me versus the full mask. You just have to get used to keeping your mouth closed, but so much more comfortable.